How much Spanish input can I get in a day? I've been using the Dreaming Spanish platform for language learning for quite some time now, well over a year. And I've accumulated over 1,000 hours of listening to Spanish. If you don't know the Dreaming Spanish platform, it's one of the best ways to learn Spanish through Comprehensible Input. Generally at the moment I'm trying to get about an hour a day. Earlier, up until when I got to 1,000 hours, I was pushing it and for quite a few months I was doing about, on average, 3 hours a day. But I've significantly reduced that number now. On Sunday, I decided to do a challenge. I love doing these kinds of things from time to time. It just makes the whole thing more fun. And so what I decided to do was to see how many hours I could fit into a day. With this challenge, what I wanted to make sure was the following. I wanted to have easy enough videos that I could understand them. I wanted to have a mix of some things on the Dreaming Spanish platform and some things on YouTube. I also had a class in the evening, so my total time for the day includes my class that I do on italki. So I started the day very early, got up before 6 o'clock and went off to the gym. I do some of my input while I walk, just using Dreaming Spanish on my phone and some headphones, and I found that quite a nice way to learn. At 0 hours, just making coffee, getting ready to go to the gym. On my walk to and from the gym, I listened to a live stream that Pablo did on Dreaming Spanish and ended up with 78 minutes by the time I was back. Then I listened to a video on the platform why Spaniards don't have many iPhones. This got me up to 109 minutes. Then I listened to what has become one of my new favorite channels, Pandita on the Road. Encuentro más problemas arreglar mi moto. I really enjoy travel channels, and she's been traveling around Argentina on a scooter, which I think is pretty cool. With 130 minutes in the bag, I went and had a shower. Next, I listened to this video by Spanish with Gaia. She's one of the few people who does comprehensible input from Argentina, so I've really appreciated her channel. It's fairly beginner-friendly material, so I tend to listen to more native-like content, but I still watch pretty much all her videos. If your interest is learning Spanish from Argentina specifically and you're looking for a channel, I highly recommend hers. I'll have the link in the description along with all the others. That gave me 16 minutes. Next, another easy one, Spanish with Josy. I like her channel as well. She's from Chile, and Chile and Argentina were really a big motive for me to start Spanish in the first place. So although my focus is on Argentinian Spanish, it's quite nice that there's somebody doing comprehensible input content from Chile. So I recommend her channel as well for any beginners. That gave me another 16 minutes. When I was transitioning to starting to listen to native content, especially from Argentina, I was really looking for people who speak really clearly. And one of the channels that I found early on was Paula Simple. She does content around minimalism. And so I did a video of hers and got about 8 minutes from that. Pretty much every day I listened to some weather in Argentina. Just gave me 2 minutes. Then a video by Rodando, hacia Libertad, who I've been listening to for well over a year now. They're a traveling couple, and at the moment they're in Ecuador. They're also from Argentina, and if you're starting to get into native content from Argentina, their travels are pretty cool to follow. And their video gave me 27 minutes. And inspired by them, I went to have some mate. Then I did a couple videos on Fernando Ressia's channel, another person from Argentina who does really cool content about different parts of Argentina. Then I got back on Dreaming Spanish to do a couple easy videos, one by Pablo about the day in his life, and then one by Agustina. By the end of that, I'd reached 5 hours of input. Then, to keep myself from being distracted, I went out for a walk, carried on listening to some Dreaming Spanish content. I didn't record which ones, but by the time I got back, I was up to 379 minutes. In the afternoon, I carried on listening to some of my favorites, including Lucia, who does travel stuff, and AmericAndo, another travel couple who's been traveling through the Americas. AmericAndo is probably my favorite channel at the moment. And by just after dinner time, I'd managed to do 9 full hours of input. And finally, I had my 1 hour italki lesson, which brought my total up to 600 minutes or 10 full hours. So it wasn't the longest day I've done. I have managed to do 11 hours one day. But I do these challenges from time to time, not because I think they're the best form of input. I do make sure that I focus very well. If I didn't focus all the way through, I would stop. So focus on the videos is important to me. But still, I don't think that it's necessarily the best way to learn. But what it does do is it gets me really motivated. And actually, by the time I'm done, I'm starting to think about the content that I'm falling behind on, all the YouTube channels that I follow. Learning to understand enough to be able to follow content that interests me is one of the most pleasurable things about this type of learning through comprehensible input. I really enjoy the fact that I can follow all these travel channels specifically, something that interests me as a former tour guide. So it's a really fun thing to do. I enjoyed the day, and I'll do it again sometime. Thank you once again for watching. I know this one was a bit random, but it was a fun thing to do.